are now on problem 2.1, and we are on part B, where we are preparing the data for future use. And to do this, we have some of our attributes, some of our variables, that need to be put into dummy variables so they can be used in future calculations and in future statistic models and algorithms and things like that. So to do that, we have to basically transform them into something that they can read. And you notice that a lot of our categories are already, if we were to go to our variables, we're going to notice that some of them already are set up as dummy variables. For example, does it have a driver airbag? 1, yes, no, 0. So it's either yes or no. We have our passenger airbag, air conditioning, yes or no. Is it an automatic, I'm assuming, transmission? Yes or no. And so that's the thing that we were trying to do with our fuel type, is we want to know, is it diesel? Yes or no. Is it petrol? Yes or no. Is it CNG? Yes or no. So instead of having fuel type and then having 3 basically variables under that variable description, we can then actually create 3 different variables. What it's either fuel petrol, fuel diesel, or fuel CNG. So what we'll do is we're going to go back to our data, and we are going to go into Excel Miner, and we are going to transform our categorical data into dummies. And then to do this, it basically is going to tell us that we're looking at the data worksheet, part of the Toyota Corolla spreadsheet, within the whole data range. It tells us how many columns and rows that we have, and it recognizes that our first row has our headers in it. So then it asks us, okay, well, out of all of these variables, which ones need to be considered to be made into dummies? Well, we know that our fuel type is the one we want to do, so we're going to go ahead and move it over here into our variables to be factored, and then go ahead and hit OK. Once we do this, it's processing right now, it will then come up with our dummy categorical variables, and you will now see that we have a fuel type CNG, a fuel type diesel, and a fuel type petrol. And it now has either a yes or a no, 1 or 0. And each one of our rows now, each one of our models, our ID numbers, whichever way you want to look, our rows here, now is either going to be CNG, diesel, or petrol. Now, what you do then in your dummies is you can then basically say, okay, so you look at your ones where the majority of them are, and you will find that the majority of our fuel types are either diesel or petrol. So what we can do is we can actually go in here and we can delete column K. That way we only have 2 variables, and that way it corresponds with our yes or our no. And then what we can find then in future testing is if it's not diesel and it's not petrol, then we know it has to be CNG. So by doing this, we have now created dummy variables that we can work with in future transactions in Excel Miner, and by reducing it down to 2 fuel types, by getting rid of that third, we actually are going to avoid redundancy in our models.